there aren't these steps of I did this intensive training and then I did this and then I did this. And I was like, no, I had no idea how to do it. And I asked a lot of questions and probably got a lot of things wrong. And I probably wouldn't teach anyone the way that I learned how to do it, but it worked for me and it just allowed me to be creative and find my own path. And I think I think it's pride that I get out of it. I think it is that artistic sense of I want to create this piece of art or this thing, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it happen. And then once it's done, I get to just feel proud because it's mine and I did it. So I think maybe that.
Oh, that's a great answer. And I love how your parents are just kind of like, what's she done now? Right, fine.
Oh
Okay, we
yeah.
need to replace the door. Oh, she's hanging upside down again. Right, okay. I wonder what the neighbors are thinking.
Oh
They're
yeah.
letting you find yourself, and they're just letting you divulge yourself into these activities. But when things did go wrong, how did when a trick just wouldn't come for you, you couldn't get the sleight of hand, or you were tied upside down and almost knocked yourself out or whatever it was. How do you kind of deal with that? And how do you deal with the 6 shows a day? When you're tired, you're depleted from sleep, you're desperate to eat, somebody's been a dickhead in the audience. How do you deal with the frustration of not getting things the 100% right? Because I can see the passion you have. How do you deal with
Yeah.
things when they don't go right?
I mean, I don't have a perfect answer for that because it's something that I still struggle with and I'm trying to navigate. I think at the end of the day, I just try and remind myself why I'm doing it and why I'm here and about the good in it. Um, and things go wrong all the time. And I think that advice that I mentioned earlier is probably something that I'm trying really hard to listen to. And that is not letting failure, things that don't go right, allow me to fall out of love with this thing that
Yeah.
I'm doing. Because it's easy to do that when there's these ugly moments and these bad moments that really hurt you, that make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. And you just have to remind yourself, why you love something. So I think for me, it is just taking a step back from this current moment, like taking a step out of I've done 30 shows this week and I'm exhausted and I'm sick and I mean, my last tour, there were moments where it's like I was a day and then a day where I'm sicker than I've ever been. I'm in the hospital, and they're injecting steroids into me to make me feel okay. And then I leave the hospital to go to a show, and then I'm back in emergency care after. And there's those moments where it's like, what in the world is going on? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? I am exhausted. But you have to take a step back and go in the same way when you're sick, you only feel sick and it feels like you only remember the moments when you're sick. And you're like, God, feeling good was nice. I remember that. You have to take a step back and be like, this will pass. It'll all pass. It's all just waves that you go through and you ride out. And I will be proud of what I do if I keep doing it. And I just got to take a step back from whatever that negative feeling or emotion or wherever I'm at and look at the bigger picture because there's always a bigger picture. And with my career, it keeps getting bigger. And I love that I can just step back far enough to go, this will pass and it'll keep getting great. And it'll get bad again, but it'll get good again.
It's like is it Michael Keaton, um, when he's on about like how this will pass. The good times will pass, the bad times will pass, the worry, the net, whatever it is. This too shall pass. And I think that's the thing, is we get so focused on our mistakes, we forget all the amazing things that we're doing, and we beat ourselves up about something so small that most people didn't even catch it. And it's really
Yeah.
difficult, especially when you're maybe a bit of a perfectionist. And to come out of hospital to do a stage show and then go back in, it's just insanity.